Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and hopefully you guys are having a happy Halloween. I definitely am. Very fast, I am a zombie, walker, whatever you guys want to call it. So, yeah. Got a couple blood stains. This is gonna be a bitch to take off, by the way. Shit. So yeah, besides the point. So this time around I'm gonna be doing a review for Carrie, the original 1976 movie. And this stars Sissy Spacek, Piper Laurie, Amy Irvings, William Catt, John Travolta, Nancy Allen, Betty Buckley, and PJ Soles. Before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual. For those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up, so for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, please do comment down below or be messaging me that I never give you fair warnings. As usual, I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So basically you have Carrie, and she's this really closeted girl. She's really protected. At the same time, she comes from this really religious background. Her mom's really religious. And Carrie, she's really shy. She's often bullied by some of the other girls in her volleyball team. I believe that's what it is, volleyball. And she's often bullied, and basically it's right around the prom season, and you have this one girl, Sue, who basically wants to humiliate the ever-living shit out of Carrie. Thing is, Carrie has some supernatural powers that her mom considers to be the Satan's powers, or the devil's powers, something to that effect. So, as the movie progresses, you have this one guy who asks Carrie out on the request or the behalf of on the request of his girlfriend. She was like, hey, I kind of feel bad for what I did to Carrie. Can you take her out and make sure she has a decently good time at prom? Hey, maybe even when prom king and queen. Make sure she has a good time. And yeah, which I thought was pretty cool. Just to kind of get Carrie out there in the real world. To kind of have fun, given the fact that she is this closeted, really overprotective, protected religious individual. However, this one girl, Sue, being the bitch that she is, dumps a shit ton of fucking blood on her, and Carrie kind of goes crazy with her supernatural powers and kills more or less everybody in the whole prom, in all of prom, and afterwards, her mom kills her by literally stabbing her in the back, and then fast forward, I want to say about a year, or at least a couple years later, and it may possibly be a dream sequence at the same time, but basically you have the sole survivor of the whole event, which was the girlfriend of the boyfriend that took Carrie out to prom. So the girlfriend kind of dreams up that she's at Carrie's burial, and all of a sudden Carrie's hand pops up, and it's basically setting up for a sequel, which I don't really know if they actually have a sequel for Carrie, not gonna lie, but besides the point. I actually found this movie to be rather interesting in my opinion. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about this movie at first. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I actually really enjoyed it. The character of Carrie, she is a really tortured soul, and that's just one thing I really like about movies in general, when they're able to give you a really tortured soul. I don't know, I just really like that kind of character arc. Other characters like that would be Randall Murphy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or even Frankenstein from any of the Frankenstein movies. They're always tortured souls, and that's just something I really like. And I'm actually really surprised that they didn't really force the whole religious aspect of this movie in that some of the characters have. Again, the mother being the most religious person in this whole movie. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't force the religious aspect of it onto us. So yeah, and many people compare this kind of to The Exorcist. If Regina was a teenager, and if you were seeing the movie through Regina's eyes, which I thought is a pretty interesting way of viewing it. And if you do view it like that, like a kind of a, I wouldn't say a knockoff of The Exorcist, but kind of a different, like a retelling of The Exorcist, it becomes really interesting in my opinion. So I do like it like that, and I do think that's the best way to view it. Brian De Palma is the director, and he's done other movies that I do find rather interesting. I believe he did The Conversation. That may be Francis Ford Coppola. I'm not really sure if that's Francis Ford Coppola or Brian De Palma. He did Scarface. He's done The Untouchables, the first Mission Impossible, and he's done some other great movies. And I find most of his movies to be rather interesting. This one, the same. It is rather interesting in my opinion with the way he kind of uses, again, the religious aspect of this movie. And I think the way that the religion is used, because there is a lot of religious symbolism in this movie, I feel just the way that religion is used throughout the movie is the best part of this movie. The acting is actually really good in my opinion. The only person that I would say is a bit too over the top for my taste is the mother, Piper Laurie. Piper Laurie is the mother, and I feel like she's a bit over the top just because of the way she carries herself. And I guess she thought it was a black comedy because I've seen the trivia on IMDb, and she originally thought this was supposed to. Apparently, a lot of the cast thought this was supposed to be a black comedy, which is really funny in my opinion. And that does kind of show that there are some comedic, and I use the word comedic loosely in this case. But there are some comedic elements to this movie, which, again, Brian De Palma being an interesting filmmaker, in my opinion, does, I guess, lend itself to that type of filmmaking. Overall, though, really good, in my opinion. Everything about it is really good. I really do like the symbolism is what really got me in this movie. It's just the symbolism. I really liked it. And, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Really great movie in my opinion. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.